All right, so I did this for biology, and on this channel, I've done mechanical, electrical, software. I've done, that's basically it. Some math, but I've never done chemistry. Chemistry always seemed totally unattainable. Then I took an organic chemistry class, or I'm in an organic chemistry class, and I said, I can do that. All right, so we're just gonna unbox some stuff that I got. This isn't going to be exhaustive, and there's more stuff coming on the way, but I got to kind of hide this stuff because I'm limited on space. All right, so okay, so the first thing is okay. So I'm going to keep this kind of with it for now. All right, so this is actually great. Okay, I actually spent like way too much on this. This is kind of one of those things that was kind of an impulse purchase, but it's a big 150 millimeter recrystallization dish. And the reason why I have this, it looks new. Maybe a little scratch there, but I mean, it looks great. It looks fine. Is for doing oil baths, because at the moment I'm not really planning on getting a heating mantle. But I've seen some people on YouTube, they do distillations, just the beaker on the hot plate, and what they'll do is they'll make a little cone of aluminum foil or something to kind of improve the heat conduction. That seems a little too janky for me, so I wanted to do oil baths. So I'm gonna have to get some oil. Honestly, I haven't even started. I have picked two projects out that I want to do over this spring break that I have coming up. Oop. And I haven't started the reagent purchasing process yet, but the oil will probably be part of that. Actually, I'll need to get that soon because I want to do a demo run of distilling just like water or isopropyl alcohol or something. I kind of have to do this off camera because I got my address all over this stuff. I don't really want to do that. Okay. All right, here we go. This is kind of the biggest purchase of the thing. This is $110 or so. Okay, so the specifications actually are slightly different than what they advertised, which is not the best. But the 350C thing is good. I think that's higher than what they reported. I think they said 500, but the RPM might be a little bit lower. Okay, this is basically the manual. Okay. I'm gonna keep. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take pictures of all this stuff because. Okay, let me just take a picture of. I love taking the pictures of the manuals because you never know. Like with some of this Amazon stuff, you really like don't know if you're gonna be able to get it online. Okay. All right, so here we go. This is it. Magnetic stirring hot plate. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. That was kind of jank. I should have known better to do that. All right. Actually, wait, let me put this in here. Okay, so actually, I probably will turn this on. I don't think it... Oh, here we go. All right, so it came with a cable, which I definitely have more of that than Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is a threaded... Oh, here we go. Okay, this is kind of interesting. All right, so it came with a stir bar, a fuse. This is the... I don't even know what brand this is. It's the SH3. So here's the thing. I was really planning on getting the 5" by 5" thing with the capacity of 1 liter. But I decided that really doesn't make sense if, you know, you're going to be putting this dish on here. Because the idea is that this hot plate is going to sit on a lab jack, which I have, 8 inches by 8 inches. So then this is going to sit in here, and actually this is not very flat. I'm kind of surprised at how not flat this is. That's kind of terrible. I'm guessing this surface is pretty flat, and then it's the bowl that's not very flat. Actually, no, I think it's this surface that's not very flat. I'm wondering if I can... Alright, so that's immediately a pretty big problem, because you want this thing to be perfectly flat. I'm wondering if I can adjust it. I see screws on here. And, yeah, so the bowl seems flat because it sits on my counter perfectly. So... Okay. Well, let's put away the dish because we know that the dish is fine. Okay. I am going to take this out of the packaging. I mean, I did buy, like, the cheapest one, so I'm not, like, totally surprised or anything. But, you know, you do kind of hope that it works as advertised, at least a little bit. I don't really know how these things work, so I don't know where the heating element is. So okay, so all right, so I think I should power it on. Let me try to see. Okay, this is open. Okay, so I think okay, I'm not too sure what all this is about. Okay, I think I see. All right, so it's just a threaded rod. Okay, whatever. Now here, okay, it fits in there pretty snugly. This part almost looks like, I mean, no, it's injection molded. Okay, what do we have here? What is this? There's like, the problem with these things is that there's no documentation. So, I'm not exactly sure what this part does. Okay, it just looks like... Okay, I get it, actually. This thing is easy to figure out. All right, so slide this thing on here. Okay, and then you have a second wing nut for a stand. Okay. Okay. All right, so then you can put a beaker over this thing. Okay. All right. And then we have a stir bar here. So I don't know if I have to put in the fuse myself. I assume that it's just an extra fuse. The interesting thing is, well, I guess when I take out the busted one, it'll tell me, 250 volt. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but it looks like it might be 5 amps. Okay, so let's try to boot this thing up, I think. All right, so that looks good. Just gonna put the stir bar on. We're gonna try to turn the heat on, but I am a little bit annoyed with the flatness thing. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna boot this up. See what we got going on, man. The thing is, I did find that I was thinking I could somehow get a heating mantle set up for like $130 or something. Basically, the heating mantles on Amazon, they don't sell like you would normally use them. Typically what you have is you have a power supply or a thermal controller or something, and then the actual resistive heating element. Okay, wait, let's turn this thing on. Oh, wait, hold on. This might be unplugged. Wait, is it? Oh, never mind. Okay, wait, hold on. There we go. DOA? Okay, wait, let's read the manual. Let's see if I have to put in this fuse. Oh. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the surface... Okay, so it's definitely heating up, so that's good. All right, let's try the spinning. All right, good. So it works, you know. I'm not thrilled about the flatness thing. I don't know how much more I can complain about it, but that just seems like a huge quality control issue. Okay. All right, so let's try to get everything back to how it was. Okay, so what went in there was this. Okay. The stir bar went in here. Okay, both of these things went in here. So we gotta pull this thing out of here. Okay. All right, good. It's all put away now for the most part. Put this in the bottom. This house, the power cable. I mean, the most important thing I think I was checking is like, I can probably live with the flatness problems, but I definitely can't live with it if it's like just totally broken. So I just wanted to check that kind of. Um, okay, 2 more boxes. Okay, excited to see what this is. Oh, here we go. Okay, these are lab stands. Viver, man, they make freaking everything. Okay, I don't know. They give me a piece of balsa wood. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, great. All right, so I think that this will be totally fine. I actually think I went really overkill with this. They gave me more stuff than I was kind of expecting. Or actually, no, this is everything. So we have, you know, I don't know how great these are going to be. We'll see. You know, I think that they will be suitable. The only thing, okay, here we go. So this is for holding like beakers or not beakers, like, you know, flasks and stuff like that. And then the way that this works is that, okay, so we're going to set this up. Let's set this up. So let's push this way back. Okay. All right, so these things are pretty light. They're actually just like, it's like sheet metal. So I think what I'm going to end up having to do here is, let's put the extra, some more space here. Is just use some like hand clamps and clamp them directly to the table. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Okay, stand is heavy. I'm kind of curious how this is going to work. Do you... Okay, so this is kind of insane, but whatever. See, typically this would be like... not like this, I think, but... I mean, definitely hand tightened is low-key ridiculous, but in any case, let's just see if we can get something kind of going here. All right, so this is cork lined, so that's kind of nice. Let's take one of our standard adapters here. So I think that it's a symmetrical part. And then it's just like tack welded together. I mean, that's definitely strong enough. I don't know why I would even mention that. So probably like this. It's pretty cheap stuff, but my feeling is that this is like kind of acceptable. Nice and tight. I mean, it's not going anywhere. So, you know. And actually, wait. I'm going to leave this out because we have some... Let's get this way back. Way back. All right, so we have the stand. I'm going to set up the other stand. Okay, so it looks like... I don't know how these are attached. But there's foam blocks that I guess are somehow adhered there. I'm not sure how that's even happening, but let's get the second rod. Okay, somewhat tight on there. Okay, the SEP funnel's not coming today, so... All right, and then here, this was kind of the... Oh, sick. Okay, wait. Here, wait. This is going to be really interesting to play with. Actually, I kind of want to try this right now. All right, so this is a $20 submersible pump. All right, so we have some hose here. And then we just... I think what you do is you just... okay, so these looks like some like nozzle fittings or something. I don't really know what that's about. But the idea with these things, I love that this is so small. I'm wondering if this is going to be sufficient for my needs. Is you, okay, good. We have some manual in here. Okay, so so you can control the flow rate. Actually, that's really interesting. I'm almost positive that's what that does. So this is probably an inlet. That's probably the inlet, and then this is the outlet. And I'm guessing what you do is... Okay, we'll get to this, but you know, I have to imagine... okay, wait. Let's see. You know, I don't know. I guess they give me 3 separate diameters for depending on what kind of hose you already have. But they provide a hose. And the... Okay, and that seems like the right size right there. That's sealed. So then you... So sealed, I don't know how you get it out of there. Okay, so you put this on here. And I think you just submerge this in water. Okay, so this is 110, 120. That's good. 60 hertz, that's good. Right, yeah, because if anything is damaged on the exterior. But everything looks good. Please do not pull the power cord when you try to move the pump. This pump should be using clean water. The water temperature... Oh, no. I wonder if the cold... It says suggested water temperature is 40 to 95 F. Low key, I might just like run it cold. 40 F is pretty cold though. But we want to run it at like 33, 34, you know, like... Let's take a picture. Okay, it's actually going to get dark. So what I'm going to do is shelve this. This isn't happening today. So we gotta... I do like how small this thing is though. 20 bucks. I think that this might be a very... You know, and this is the kind of thing that like on YouTube, I don't see anyone... I have rarely see... I mean, maybe I just not looking them out, but I don't see any videos about the details of how you actually... Like one thing that I want to set up is a vacuum. Buchner funnel. Basic vacuum filtration. I don't see any videos about how you get, you know, a good vacuum filtration setup for chemistry at home. So that's kind of something I want to do. You know, just for fun. All right, so let's put this away. I think the hose came in here, actually. Did it? There's no way. That would be insane. This fucking hose. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just gonna put this aside. Put that away. All right. Here we go. Jeez. Fuck. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's kind of the main glassware. Or not the main glassware. This is the main distillation setup. So this seemed like kind of a too good to be true deal. 2 round bottom flasks, Liebig condenser, clips, the thermometer adapter, and then I think a 105 degree like neck thing. So let's see. I forget exactly what's going to be in here. All right, so you know it's wrapped nicely, and it's not all taped up, which is good. Okay, so here we go. So here is the 2440. You know, the glass seems pretty good. Maybe a little dirty. Probably want to wash it out. But this will be totally fine for my purposes. All right, here we go. Here's the thermometer adapter. I just bought... So let's just see here. If we want to do like a short path thing, that fits great. You know, this does not seem like a, you know, whatever, a scam. All right, here we go. Condenser. Bro. Okay, it's not broken, but the case is broken. Or actually, I don't even know what the deal is. I can't believe that didn't break. Oh, wow. Okay, I bought one, but this goes up to 200C. This is actually better than the one I have. All right, so let's try to fit this in. I think you just... Do you tighten it then? Oh, and then you tighten it. All right, here we go. So you tighten this, and now it's nice and tight in here. You want to get it in the steam path. Tighten that a little bit more. Okay, that looks good to me. That thing really just kind of flew out of there. All right, here we go. Here's the Liebig condenser. It looks like there's some. I don't know why I just did that. That was like so dumb. Okay, but I didn't really do anything. But that was so dumb. Holy cow, dude. It's getting too windy. This is getting dangerous. This is actually getting so annoying. Okay, so we gotta go. All right, whatever. Let's just get through this. All right, so the condenser, it clearly needs to be, uh, this. There's paper in here, and I'm not exactly sure. There's probably a note card about what I need to do. The glassware produced by fire and water, so maybe it come with some watermark or air bubble. Okay. All right, so here we go. 500 milliliter round bottom flask. All right, so I think I should try to. What song is this? What song is this? Dude, this thing is. What song is playing? All right. Sounds good. So, okay. Here we go. Some hoses. So these hoses are way smaller. So we'll need to figure out the hose situation. But yeah. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. What? Why is this hose so small? This isn't even the right size hose, dude. Maybe it is. Okay, so they give us just one long hose, and they expect you to just cut it yourself. Okay, they give us some pH paper booklet. Okay, here's the other receiving flask. $250 milliliter round bottom flask. All right, give me a second. All right. So what we need to do here, get this stuff out of the way. Okay, so here's how this goes. With the round bottom flask, let's do this. Okay. Okay. So wait, hold on. They gave us just the right amount. Ooh, that's tight. Okay. Is that right? That's got to be right. But that doesn't feel right. Hold on. Let me do this. Okay, that's right. I think actually what I'm supposed to do. Get this thermometer out of here. Is that I think I need to loosen this, then turn this there. Now I can use my right hand. Okay. Okay. Okay, the round bottom is set up. Now what we need to do is let's get this out of the way. This out of the way. Let's bring this up. Be like that. Okay, nice and tight. All right, now here is kind of in my mind, the most janky thing to set up. It's the Liebig, is a condenser. So I think what we want to do. I don't have the grease yet, too. I think I actually do have grease, but I don't know where it is. So I think what we're going to do is set this up like this. Actually, no, yeah, let's do this. So it goes on here like this. And then the bigger side gets the bigger part of the clip. Okay, this is pretty on there, but see how it's straining? That's not good. It's slipping. Actually, this thing is like no good. Okay. All right, well, let's leave it like this. That's so janky. Okay. So what we're going to do now is try to set up one of these. Oh. Where did my... Here we go. Nope. Those are ring stands. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking for. So we want to get this thing on here. Actually, it's going to be easier to do it like this. But is that what we want? I think that's what we want. Okay. Let's see, get this a little bit up. All right. So now let's move this out of the way. And let's just do this. Okay, so now I'm not sure why there's two. All right, so I'm clearly not the fucking best at this. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think that this is it. Okay, that's nice and that's pretty nice and tight on there, I'd say. Now, what we have to do, these stands are like really cheap. I would definitely not go for these stands. Okay, wait, hold on. I think actually, okay, well, I'm kind of stuck to doing it this way, but okay, I don't think I'm, there we go. Boom. All right, your boy is ready for distillation. We have one more clip. We have one more round bottom flask. Where's the round bottom flask? All right, so this is basically the setup. The only thing that I want to do, and this is going to be a little bit tricky, is I want to it's very hard to tell when you have tension on the glassware. You know, you could be kind of cramming it, and you don't really want to do that. But I think that this is pretty good. I gotta take a picture, bro. This is dope. All right, so you know, now the real question here is definitely, I mean, okay, I basically have to take this apart and put this all away right now because it's gonna be dark. So that's what's happening. Okay. So that's starting the chem lab. I have the separatory funnel coming tomorrow. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about the heating plate. And then low-key, the best thing would be to buy the Variac and okay. All right. So the best way to take apart the distilling, I think, is going to be, here's what we're going to do. Whoa, that was stupid. Okay. No, I think that's the wrong idea. I think we want to take it apart just how we put it together. You really got to grease these things. I almost feel like I just lost this piece of glassware. All right. Same with this one. You got to grease this stuff. It's not an option. Okay. All right, so that is starting the lab. Okay, I think I'm just going to try to wrap some of this stuff back up. Okay, Liebig. Okay, clips. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna sneak this stuff inside. Here we go. Okay. So the 4 pieces of glassware, the thermometer. I'm gonna just carry this in manually. What else do we have? Oh wait. Okay. What else was in here? The clips. The hose. All right. All right. So we got to take all this apart. So let's actually I'm going to leave these things on here. Yeah, so what I'm planning on doing, by the way, is let's see. So the stand will be here. Okay, at the edge of the table with the hole facing this way. Then the stand comes up and I face everything out this way, but I have clamps here so that even if there's a load here, which there will be, this thing is going to be rock solid because I don't want anything to tip. And then I'm also going to figure out how we can, I'm probably going to do it on this table, but I'm going to put a piece of plywood down. Ideally, I have something with a lip on it so that in the case of spills, nothing gets on this glass because I eat on here and we really want to keep this pristine. So I'm actually, the more that I think about this, the more I don't want to use this table. The nice thing about this table is it's extremely heavy, and so it's unlikely for a bump or anything to knock anything over. But if I'm just using a folding table, I'm going to need to use some sandbags or something to make sure that that table is not moving. So that's kind of the next consideration is how. So the general plan is I'll be done with finals on Tuesday. What I'm thinking is Wednesday is going to be cleaning up the garage. It's going to be cleaning up that space so that I can put chemicals there. I can start to deal with, chemicals, safe chemical storage. And then just get it back to being a usable place because right now it's totally fucked. Dude, is anyone tuned into this thing, man? People like the studying more than they like the freaking chem stuff. I don't get it. It's like people don't really care about the projects. But me just studying, it's like 100 fucking people, man. All right. So all right. So we can just, I don't need this wrap anymore. I'm pretty much going to keep this. I don't have a problem with this stuff. The ring stands, I'll have to test the ring stands out when the SEP funnel comes. Put the wood back in here. Stuff this shit in here. The thermometer, I'm going to keep close. Okay. All right, so we got the 4 packages. I think that's it. Peace. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm hoping that this will be a very productive series. I've never done chem.